Grab your laundry detergent. Right now. Flip it over. Know what's missing? Anything that removes stains. Labs tested 50 brands, Persil Pro Clean, Tide, Gain, Arm & Hammer Clean no better than water. Same results. $23 versus free. Here's the trick, they add fragrance and foam. Smells great, looks bright, your brain thinks clean. The dirt's still there. You paid $23 for perfume. We're exposing 12 detergents scamming millions. Number 3 is in 60% of homes, number 1 on Amazon. When you see the stain tests, you'll never buy it again. Let's go. 12 Super Strong Suds. You've seen the commercials. A washing machine window filled with thick foam, bubbles everywhere and the promise of powerful deep cleaning. It looks impressive. But the truth is, more foam doesn't always mean cleaner clothes. In fact, when a detergent produces excessive suds, it can actually interfere with the cleaning process. Instead of washing away dirt, the foam traps soil and debris inside the wash water, preventing it from rinsing out properly. The result? Clothes that come out looking washed but still carry residue and dullness. Those bubbles can also leave behind a thin film of detergent on fabrics. Over time, that invisible layer builds up inside fibers, making clothes feel stiff or sticky. Even worse, that residue acts like a magnet for dirt or bacteria, which can lead to lingering odors. It's the exact opposite of what laundry detergent is supposed to do. And then there's the skin issue. When detergent residue doesn't rinse out completely, it stays in constant contact with your skin. For people with sensitive skin, that leftover soap can trigger itching, irritation, or rashes. One detergent customers have complained about is Tide Original Liquid Laundry Detergent. When this is overused or used in high-efficiency washers without proper dosing, it has heavy sudsing. It's too concentrated, so adding too much can easily create excessive foam that the machine struggles to rinse away. So, next time you see a detergent with a mountain of bubbles, remember to pass it on. And of course, you shouldn't go for any laundry detergent with fragrance bombs. 11. Anything with fragrance bombs. Now let's talk about the detergents that smell like a perfume store exploded inside your washing machine. You know the ones. They advertise long-lasting scent, 48-hour freshness, or unstoppable fragrance. It sounds appealing, but that smell has nothing to do with cleaning power. In fact, the scent is often just a cocktail of synthetic fragrance chemicals added after the cleaning ingredients. On labels, it usually appears as a single word, fragrance or parfum. But when the detergent even brags about mega scents, it does nothing for cleaning. Some detergents might blend dozens of even hundreds of undisclosed chemicals. Some fragrance formulas can include up to 3,000 different ingredients. And many of those chemicals aren't exactly friendly to your skin or lungs. Synthetic fragrance compounds usually include substances like phthalates, aldehydes, and volatile organic compounds. These have been linked to skin irritation, allergic reactions, and respiratory problems, especially for people with asthma, eczema, or sensitive skin. But the fragrance isn't even necessary. Its entire job is to mask chemical odors and make clothes smell clean, even if detergent itself isn't doing a better cleaning job. You might have heard of the Gain Original Liquid Laundry Detergent, a brand famous for extremely strong scent. That's marketed as part of the product's identity, but that heavy fragrance comes from synthetic perfume blends designed to linger on fabrics long after washing. That lingering scent means those chemicals stay on your clothes and against your skin all day. So, when a detergent promises irresistible freshness, all it might be delivering is just chemicals. 10. Pods that look like candy. This is advice most people don't realize, but if there's one type of laundry detergent you shouldn't buy, it's detergent pods that look like candy. They're convenient, pre-measured, and look oddly satisfying. But here's the harsh truth. Those colorful little packets have created a serious safety problem, especially for kids. Take a look at one for a second. It's small, shiny, and filled with bright swirling colors. To an adult, it's clearly detergent. But to a toddler? It can look like candy, a gummy snack, or a juice-filled toy. And that misunderstanding has led to thousands of dangerous accidents. In fact, US poison control centers have recorded tens of thousands of cases of children under 6 being exposed to laundry detergent pods, with hundreds of kids hospitalized. The biggest problem is how concentrated these pods are. Unlike regular liquid detergent, the chemicals inside are packed into a small dose, and when the thin outer film breaks, the contents can release instantly. The effects aren't minor either. Children who ingest the liquid often experience vomiting, coughing, choking, eye burns, or breathing problems. A well-known example is Tide Pods, one of the most recognizable pod detergents on the market. The product works great for laundry, but the bright candlelight design became so notorious that it even sparked viral internet challenges, showing just how much people underestimate the danger. Now that that's out of the way, let's talk about the detergents that contain a lot of chemicals for brightening your clothes. 9. Brightener Wizards. Some detergents don't actually clean your clothes better, but they just make them look cleaner. The secret weapon? Optical brighteners. These are synthetic chemicals added to many mainstream detergents that absorb ultraviolet light and re-emit it as visible blue light. That blue glow counteracts yellow or dull tones in fabric, making whites appear brighter and colors look more vivid. But those clothes aren't actually cleaner. The dirt isn't removed by the chemicals, but they simply change how the fabric reflects light so your eyes perceive it as whiter. Even more surprising, optical brighteners are designed to stick to fabric fibers during the wash. They don't rinse away easily, which means a thin layer can remain on your clothes after every cycle. Over time, that residue can build up, and for some people, it can lead to skin irritation, itching, or allergic reactions, especially if you have sensitive skin or conditions like eczema. And because these chemicals sit directly on your clothing, they stick to your skin all day. One example is Persil ProClean Original Liquid Laundry Detergent, which contains optical brighteners designed to enhance the appearance of whites rather than remove additional dirt. So, be careful when you buy laundry detergents that rely a lot on optical brighteners. 8. Extreme Stain Fighter Powders. Another category of detergents that sounds impressive but doesn't live up to the hype is the so-called Extreme Stain Fighter Powder detergents. You've seen the marketing before, with phrases like obliterate stains, industrial strength cleaning, or blasts out every stain. But real testing tells a more complicated story. Consumer testing organizations often put detergents through controlled stain challenges using things like dirt, body oil, chocolate, grass, and coffee. And surprisingly, some heavily marketed powders don't perform nearly as well as their aggressive packaging suggests. In fact, even well-known formulas can struggle with common household stains like coffee or chocolate. One example? Tide Original Powder was put through tests by Consumer Reports, but it struggled to remove any coffee or chocolate stains. That's a good reminder that even highly advertised stain-fighting powders don't dominate every type of mess. There are a few reasons for this. Powder detergents can't easily be used as a pre-treatment, and that makes it harder to tackle tough spots before the wash begins. And depending on the water temperature or mineral content, their cleaning ability can even be lower. So, that giant extreme stain power label might sound convincing, but laundry chemistry is more complicated. Whenever you have a stain, you should figure out how to get it out first before washing with detergent. And regardless of what you're washing, eco laundry sheets are never the right option. 7. Weak eco sheets. Laundry detergent sheets are one of the trendiest things in the cleaning world right now. They're thin, lightweight strips that dissolve in water, usually packed in cardboard instead of bulky plastic jugs. The marketing sounds perfect. It's eco-friendly, minimalist, and supposedly powerful enough to clean a full load of laundry. But the truth is, many of these sheets simply don't have the cleaning strength people expect. Detergent sheets often perform worse than traditional liquid or pod detergents. In fact, testing has revealed that laundry sheets as a category usually score lower than the lowest rated liquid detergents when it comes to removing normal stains like body oil, chocolate, coffee, and grass. Why does this happen? The answer is surprisingly simple. A detergent sheet only weighs a few grams, which means it contains far fewer active cleaning ingredients than a typical cupful of liquid detergent or a scoop of powder. That smaller dose often struggles when clothes are heavily soiled, sweaty, or covered in food stains. A well-known example is True Earth EcoStrips laundry detergent sheets, which are popular for their sustainability claims but often receive mixed performance reviews in independent cleaning tests. That doesn't mean every sheet product is useless. For lightly worn clothes or quick refresh loads, they can do the job. But if you're dealing with real stains, it doesn't really do anything. Too little is never a good idea, but neither is too much, and that takes us to the detergents that try to do absolutely everything at once. 6. Super blends. You've probably seen these super blends on the shelf. They are bottles promising detergent, fabric softener, scent boosters, stain fighters, brighteners, and sometimes even color protection, all packed in one formula. It sounds like an efficient choice, but in reality, these super blend detergents can create more problems than they solve. The issue comes down to chemistry. When detergents include built-in softeners and conditioning agents, those ingredients don't instantly disappear after the wash. Fabric softeners work by coating clothing fibers with chemical compounds to make them feel smoother and reduce static. But that coating forms a thin film on the fabric, and over time it can build up. That film can actually trap dirt, body oils, and bacteria inside the fibers, making clothes smell fine at first but gradually holding onto grime underneath the surface. The buildup can also reduce absorbency, which is why towels that are washed with softener-heavy detergent sometimes stop soaking up water properly. A common example is Gain Plus Aroma Boost Liquid Laundry Detergent, which combines detergent with scent boosters and softening additives in one formula. And there's another hidden cost. When one detergent tries to combine multiple laundry products in a single formula, you're often paying for ingredients you might not even want or need. Meanwhile, the extra additives can increase the chance of residue sticking to fabrics, especially in modern high-efficiency washing machines that use less water for rinsing. So, while 10 in 1 cleaning power might sound impressive on the label, laundry isn't always better when it's more complicated. It's better to buy your detergents, fabric softeners, and whiteners separately. Having a lot of labels on your detergent is a bad idea, but that doesn't mean you should choose those cheap detergents without any labels at all. 5. Cheap chemicals without labels. If there's one red flag a lot of shoppers completely miss when they're buying laundry detergent is a vague ingredient label. You flip the bottle around expecting to see a clear list of what's inside, but instead, you get vague terms like surfactants, enzymes, cleaning agents, or simply fragrance. In many cases, detergent manufacturers aren't actually required to list every individual chemical used in their formulas. Instead, they can group ingredients into broad categories on the label. That means the bottle might only say fragrance or surfactants, but hold multiple undisclosed chemicals. But for the average person doing laundry, that might mean you're washing your clothes in a mix of preservatives, solvents, brighteners, and synthetic additives. Some of these ingredients might be bad for your sensitive skin or leave residues behind. Some low-cost private label detergents sold in discount stores, such as certain Dollar General True Living liquid detergents, provide only limited ingredient disclosure on packaging. If the detergent really lists out all the ingredients, you shouldn't choose the one that has phosphate. Formulas with phosphate. Phosphates is one ingredient that caused so much environmental damage even the government stepped in. But they were a major ingredient in older laundry detergents. Back in the day, phosphates were actually considered a miracle cleaning booster. They soften hard water and break down grease, and make washing clothes easier and more effective. But the problem is, when phosphate-filled wastewater flows down household drains, it eventually reaches rivers, lakes, and coastal waters. Phosphates act like fertilizer for aquatic ecosystems, and they feed algae growth. As the algae multiplies, it blocks sunlight and consumes oxygen in the water. That oxygen depletion can suffocate fish and other aquatic life, creating dead zones. Older formulas of detergents, like some international versions of Ariel powder, historically contained phosphate builders before many regions restricted their use. Because of this, you shouldn't use any detergent that has phosphate if you find one like that. Phosphate might be hard to find, but you can easily end up with one that contains synthetic dyes. 3. Detergents with synthetic dyes. When you're scanning detergent bottles on a store shelf, bright blue, green, or pink liquids jump out at you. That vibrant color makes the product look powerful, fresh, and effective. But those colors are simply cosmetic additives, and they come with downsides you probably didn't sign up for. Synthetic dyes are added purely to make the detergent look appealing, even though they serve no real cleaning function. In reality, they don't do anything to break down stains or lift dirt. What's more, these artificial colorants often come from petrochemical sources and don't break down easily in the environment. When wastewater from your laundry drains out into rivers and lakes, those dyes can linger and contribute to pollution. As for your health, synthetic dyes have a reputation for irritating the skin, especially for people with sensitives, allergies, or conditions like eczema. They can also trigger respiratory discomfort in some cases. So, if a detergent bottle looks like a bottle of Skittles, maybe you shouldn't buy it. 2. Detergents that leave clothes stiff or scratchy. Another detergent that only dumb people buy is those that leave clothes stiff or scratchy. If you've ever pulled your laundry out of the washer and noticed it felt more like cardboard than cotton. If your clothes come out stiff, rough, or just uncomfortable to wear, the problem might be the detergent you're using. One of the main culprits behind that scratchy feeling is detergent residue. Modern detergents contain surfactants and other cleaning agents meant to suspend dirt in water and carry it away. But when too much detergent is used, or when your machine doesn't rinse thoroughly, those chemicals don't completely wash out. Instead, they bind to fabric fibers and stay there after the cycle ends. Over time, that leftover material builds up, making clothes feel rigid and less comfortable. The effect is much worse in high-efficiency washers that use less water, as there's simply not enough rinse action to flush out all the soap. On top of that, water hardness plays a role too. Some users report this issue when using highly concentrated detergents like Arm & Hammer Plus OxiClean liquid if the dosage is higher than recommended. So, if your clothes feel like sandpaper or towels lose absorbency and feel nearly scratchy, you should change your detergent. 1. Massive bottles actually diluted. And finally, don't think you're saving money because you bought a massive jug of laundry detergent. When you walk down the laundry aisle, you'll probably see giant jugs of liquid detergent claiming 100 loads or big value size. The assumption is that more detergent offers better value. But that's not how the industry works anymore. In fact, most large bottles are mostly water with a splash of cleaning formula, which means what you're actually buying is a watered-down product. In fact, in a huge portion of that bottle, sometimes 60 to 90% is just water, not active cleaning ingredients. The water adds bulk and pushes up the load count. Since it's diluted, there are several effects. As you can expect, there's less genuine cleaning power per ounce, so you end up using more detergent per load to try to get the results you want. Suddenly, what looked like a bargain starts costing more load than a smaller, more concentrated bottle that actually contains stronger formula. Second, hauling around water-heavy detergents increases transportation emissions and waste. You're literally paying to move water from your factory to your laundry room. Despite the big bottle, many shoppers still splash in more than the recommended amount, assuming more is better. That just increases residue on clothes and in your machine, wasting both product and rinse cycles. So, next time a massive jug seems like a bargain, remember that you might just be buying a bottle of water with a scent and a label. Once that sinks in, it doesn't feel like a steal anymore. Outro. So, here's your simple action step. Before buying any laundry detergent with flashy colors, bold claims, or promises of extra power, ask yourself one question. Does it actually clean better, or is it just designed to look and smell stronger? The answer is often simpler than you think. Stop paying extra for clever marketing. Start paying attention to ingredients, performance, and value instead. Your clothes, your washing machine, and your wallet will all be better off because at the end of the day, truly effective detergents don't need flashy bottles to prove they work. If this helped you out, do me a quick favor. Hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications.